Welcome to the physics class. In this lecture, we are going to start a new unit called vectors. So the first topic is vector and scalar quantities. So what is a scalar quantity? A scalar quantity can be decomposed. A scalar quantity can be completely described by its magnitude only. Examples are mass, volume, distance, speed, work, etc. These are all scalar quantities. Now, a vector quantity can has magnitude as well as direction, and also follows the parallelogram law of addition of forces. This parallelogram law of addition of forces we will study in the next coming lectures. So, the example of a vector quantity are displacement, velocity, acceleration. Now the next topic is some general points regarding vectors. So a vector is represented as like a vector is given here, a vector, that is an arrow above the letter. So magnitude of a vector is denoted as a or a mod mod of a vector. That is how we denote the magnitude of a vector. Let me just rub this. Yes. Now, how graphically we can represent a vector is if we just make a line with an arrow at the end and write an A over it with a vector sign here. So that is how we graphically represent a vector. Now, angle between two vectors. Now, suppose we are given two vectors B vector and A vector as here, and this this portion is called the head of the vector, and this portion is called the tail of the vector. So in this example, I have drawn a vector, two vectors connected in head to tail fashion. This one head is touching the tail of the other vector A vector. So the angle between them is 120 to 120 degrees. So how do we say that the angle, what is the angle between these two vectors? It is not 120 degrees. It is, we have to make the vectors in such a way that their tails coincide, such that the tail coincide, and then we have to see the theta angle. This is the theta angle, which should be equal to, this is 120 degrees, so this would be 60 degrees. So this is 60 degrees. So that is how we calculate the uh, angle of the angle between vectors. We will have an example of this also in some time. Now, kinds of vectors. What are the kinds of vectors? Unit vectors. Unit vectors are vectors of unit magnitude. Suppose a vector is equals to a vector into a cap. Now, this is pronounced as a cap. This one is pronounced as a cap, and a here is the magnitude of the vector. A is the magnitude and a cap gives the direction. This gives the direction. This gives the direction. So a cap we can write equals to a vector over modulus of a, or the magnitude of a. I have written here a vector is divided by modulus of a. That is how we get the a cap vector. Now what are zero vectors? Zero vector is a vector having zero magnitude. Simply zero magnitude. It has no specific direction. No specific direction. Now what are equal vectors? Equal vectors have uh, the same magnitude and direction. Like I have shown here, these two vectors are equal vectors. They have same magnitude and they are also going towards the right. That is the same direction. So a vector is equals to b vector. Now moving ahead, we have parallel vectors. They have the same direction, but their magnitude could be different. So this is I have drawn here. These two vectors. One vector is this, another vector is this. Then negative vectors. Negative vectors are vectors having equal magnitude but opposite direction. So these are two vectors having equal magnitude and opposite direction. Then we have concurrent vectors. Concurrent vectors are vectors having same initial points. So concurrent vectors are having same initial points. Suppose A is the point here, and we have M vector, N vector, and O vector here. So these three vectors are concurrent vectors because they are having the same initial points. That is the tails start from the same initial point A. Now what are coplanar vectors? Coplanar vectors are vectors lying in the same plane. So two vectors are like this, A vector and B vector. So these two are coplanar because they are lying in the same plane of the paper. And note that you have to note that two vectors are always coplanar. Now moving ahead, we have orthogonal vectors. Orthogonal vectors are simply vectors having 90-degree angle between them. So suppose these are two vectors. One vector is this and one vector is this. So we have A vector and vector are coplanar vectors. Now there is a problem where we have to find the angle between A and B. So in first in this the angle is simply 45 degree because the two vectors are joined at the tails only. In this the two heads are coinciding. So what we have to do is we have to just switch this out and make it like this, and we have to take this and make it like this. So what's the angle between them now? The angle between them now is 150 degrees. Similarly here I'll just take this vector and make this here So we have initially one vector here, and this vector will go ahead because that's possible with vector. So I have made this like this, and this is 35 degrees. So this is how the angle between the vectors is calculated. So for first one it is 45 degrees. Angle is 45 degrees. Right, just clearly. This 45 degrees. Okay, so that was all for today, guys. If you have enjoyed the video, please do like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it among your friends. Thank you.